speaking to David earlier, he's been delighted with his side start to the season. I probably feel this 11 have a good chance of winning this game today. Speculation that he might go with two up front, but instead he sticks with the formation that did so well at Spurs. Phil Neville will join Lee Carsley in the middle of the park, which will certainly make it very competitive against Alonso and Sissoko. With Cahill just ahead of them, he's certainly got the ability to make well-timed runs forward, which will give Andy Johnson good support. And I just think that combination could really unsettle this Liverpool back four today.
Rafa Benitez has had to balance his natural instincts of rotation after an international week and before a Champions League fixture with the importance of this clash. So Jamie Carragher and Momo Sissoko are back from injuries. Robbie Fowler returns to this frenetic fixture after an absence of more than 5 years. And Peter Crouch is his partner, despite suggestions that he might be rested after his big efforts with England. Craig Bellamy, not even in the 16. Dirk Kuyt is on the bench.
You mentioned already about the likes of Carragher and Sissoko back in this side. I think it's important in a game like this because it's always traditionally feisty. It's very difficult for players just to settle on the ball at any point in time, and with Gerrard and Hurbier also, it's got a real competitive edge, this Liverpool side today. I think the midfield third is going to be so important. Talked already about the five in there for Everton, and it's going to be vital that the communication between the central midfielders and the two centre-backs is spot on in terms of who picks up Tim Cahill when he runs forward and joins Andy Johnson.
Often been a friendly rivalry with blue and red mixing, but with the pressures for success certainly on the field, and maybe through a differing style of refereeing. There's certainly been a rash of red cards in recent games. Been another little setback, really, maybe not so little, for Everton, in that Liverpool have got permission to build this 60,000 plus seater stadium even nearer to Goodison Park than Anfield is at the moment, and that's pretty near, Brian. And that seems to be a good day's business done yesterday by Liverpool FC.
Well, they've still got to raise the money, of course, and it's going to take some financing, but I think it's a big step forward for Liverpool. Can Everton follow suit? Well, we'll have to wait and see, but you do get the feeling when you look around this fantastic stadium, maybe he is just looking a little bit tired and jaded.
Well, it's Graham Poll leading out the teams. His World Cup faux pas well behind him now. Bragging rights on Merseyside come with an extra bonus today for Everton. A win would not only make blue the colour in this age-old intra-city rivalry, it would take Everton at least until later in the day to the top of the Barclays Premiership. 5 years since there was that type of glow around Goodison Park. After the international break, what better way for club football to get cracking again? Here at Goodison Park, it is Derby Day, and it's live. A worldwide fixture, but still with plenty of local humour about. Can that really be Steven Gerrard? From then to here, with the Liverpool's captain's armband on. Robbie Fowler back in Derby Day action, 16th appearance in this fixture. He scored 6 goals. He, of course, definitely was a boyhood Evertonian, as was Jamie Carragher. So there is that little family at war edge to this, apart from the fact that we have international players from far and wide, and certainly an international audience from around the globe for the first of 7 major games in the next 3 weeks for Liverpool. And such a contrast for Everton to their dreadful start to last season. 7 points already. It took them 10 games to get that in 2005. Graham Poll gets it going. Here is Robbie Fowler straight away. Crouch goes on. Fowler has the shot, and Tim Howard has to drop quickly to his left for some early work.
Well, Tim Howard's furious, and rightly so, with the players in front of him, because there's a lack of concentration here from the Everton players, and they very nearly paid the price. Certainly one player that you don't want to give a shooting opportunity to, that's Robbie Fowler.
Early feel of the ball for Pepe Reina in the other goal. He was part of the Liverpool sides that did the double over Everton in the Premiership last season. Gary Naismith with the header. Everton with just one win over Liverpool in 13 games. Lee Carsley got the goal the season before last here. Jamie Carragher obviously had this match in his sights as he recovered from the injury at Sheffield United 3 weeks ago. Here's Crouch. Merseyside derby tackle from a player who still extricated himself from the challenge, Philip Neville.
Well, it's going to be competitive, and this has
been called back for the Fowler incident.
Well, it was a great challenge by Phil Neville, and Robbie Fowler, what he's done is he's trying to make sure that Phil Neville doesn't get up, so he's just almost tramples over him, and actually the referee's assistant on that far side doesn't really spot what's happening. That's a great challenge, and it's challenges like that so early in a game is so important, especially in games of this nature.
Both Stephen Gerrard and Jamie Carragher referring, I think, to an incident that happened after that, but Graham Pollard already decided that it was a foul as Fowler held down Neville, whose commitment to Everton's cause cannot be doubted, even with all those years with Manchester United. He's captaining Everton, of course, today. Sissoko has a cameo of what's going to be hard to referee.
Well, it is going to be difficult.
Calm down is the message, and you can understand that.
Yeah, but he's also will know, because he's been around long enough, Graham Paul, that a game like this is what we would expect. You know, you've got a fella in the studio, Peter Reid, will know all about these types of games, Everton v Liverpool, and I talked at the very top about that midfield area being so competitive and so important to win. You can see the way both sides are going about their business, that they regard it as extremely vital to win that area of the field.
Cahill. Arteta to the left. Johnson through the middle, blocked off by Herpier. The referee shakes his head, didn't see it that way.
Probably need about 4 referees out there at the moment.
Crouch trying to get it down and play, and you feel if Liverpool can do that, it's quite a big if. And here goes Fowler. With Lescott just getting to him in the nick of time.
Well, maybe the Fowler of old would have probably scored in a situation like that. It's an excellent ball from Aurelio, just helps into that channel that Robbie Fowler was running into.
Carragher on Johnson this time, but he got a bit of the ball, ran off the Liverpool defender. Arteta, Naismith. And this is Carsley in behind Liverpool. Osman was coming in. Reina just took it from his toes.
That was a good take from Reina. This ball just drifts over the head of Jamie Carragher. Good run from Carsley. Unfortunately, he's struggling to really pull it into the path of an Everton player, but Reina had to be very decisive there.
Touch from Crouch. Gerrard trying to fasten onto it. Strider from doing that. Sunshine playing a part in the moment for Carragher here. Staying calm, which must take a bit of doing. Herpier. Some good early movement from Robbie Fowler. Trying to get the ball across, maybe to win a corner. Neither occurred for Liverpool. Nicely done by Neville. Herpier. Went in with a foot a little high.
There's a real intensity to this game.
An edge, I think.
Oh, you can't really get your breath at the moment. I mean, it really has been played at a breakneck speed.
Johnson, incidentally, needs 1 goal for 100 in his club career, or maybe 2. The goal against Watford here on his Everton debut is up before the Premier League dubious goals panel and could be officially taken from him. Naismith. Neville heads on. Cahill's offside.
Good defending, wasn't it? Liverpool back 4 with Carragher back in there alongside Hoopier. They were nice and positive with the line that they adopted on the edge of the box. Cahill offside, clearly see that.
Well, the battle lines are drawn here. Gerrard on the right, Luis Garcia on the left of Benitez's midfield today. And Carragher's got a problem here, but it's called Andrew Johnson. And he's recovered. And Hoopier helps him out. It deflects off Cahill. It still needs a touch from Liverpool. It's smacked away by Xabi Alonso. And Sissoko was happy to knock it into Everton territory.
Oh, what a great turn of pace that was from Andy Johnson. It really was electrifying, the way that he just burst past Jamie Carragher there.
He was away.
He'll be disappointed, Martin, not to have finished this. Good link-up play between Cahill and Johnson. Just look at Johnson go. I think Jamie Carragher was expecting Pepe Reina to come off his line, but he's a long way away from that situation. But in the end, Carragher recovers very well, just as Johnson was about to pull the trigger.
Everton have a free kick. Urban and Lescott, the 2 central defenders, are in there. Arteta giving the signal. I think at this point what he had in mind. Can't prevent the corner for Everton.
A little bit fortunate, weren't they? Poor clearance from Aurelio, but Arteta's normally very good from set pieces. He has another opportunity now from the corner kick.
Osman jogs out for a short one. Easily by the near post. It's over him. Down by Crouch. Neville trying to thread it through the crowd.
Decent enough strike, wasn't it? Sat it very nicely for him at the edge of the box. It's been a good start this by Everton.
Arteta. Short to Naismith, Yobo. Not by Hoopier, but not really decisively. Comes out to Hibbert. Osman, who's come up through the ranks here. Mike Hibbert. Steered away by Hoopier. Given away by Luis Garcia. And Finnan tidies up.
A real struggle for the wide players to get into this game, Martin, notably Steven Gerrard. He normally has a huge impact on Liverpool's performances. Can't quite get him in the game at the moment, such as the intensity and the pace in that midfield area.
We talk about the intensity, there's another whistle from Graham Poll here. And the ball knocked away afterwards by Alonso, but it's Kazi gets a talking to, but just prior to that, Lescott and Yobo going for the same ball. Something that probably wouldn't happen even with the normal height and tensions of Premiership football, but this is it's a mega match. Hibbert. Cahill was coming back, he was offside when the ball was played. Free kick not taken from the right place.
There's a couple of occasions really. Tim Cahill was a bit slow to recover and get himself onside. I mean, where he's going to have an impact, Martin, is coming from those deep positions. You know, he has had opportunity to play between midfield and attack, and it's important he gets the balance of his game right.
Well, they've set out their strategies. Benitez will know, I'm sure, that Liverpool need to win by 2 here to overtake Everton in the table. Cahill goes down. But he wasn't asking the question.
No, he wasn't, and not many other Liverpool players were really getting on to Graham Poll about this situation neither.
Lescott, who didn't play at all when he was with Wolves and they were in the Premiership, he was injured for the entire campaign. Pressure by Cahill. Need to hurry, but it was a good clearance. Arteta, Everton's player of last season. And a nudge away from Johnson, is quick enough to recover, and as well as being very quick, is a real grafter as well. The flag is up.
Just a couple of occasions, Martin, where Liverpool have been caught out really between the right back Finnan and the right-sided centre-half Jamie Carragher, but this was the potential penalty claim. You see Robbie Fowler reacting very well from the flick on from Peter Crouch, and well, Joseph Yobo just leaves out a trailing leg, and you always potentially could pay the price for that, but I'd say the claims weren't that strong from the Liverpool players.
Luis Garcia, good block by Hibbert, who was very ill in the summer and lost a stone in weight. He hasn't got it all back yet. He's got his place back. Alonso, lovely work by Sissoko. He's dropped for Crouch, and that could spell real danger, the form he's in, to Everton. Erpien. Gerrard. Anticipating the flick on. They were in that England plane coming back on Wednesday night from Macedonia, so they didn't get to their beds until the dawn was breaking on Thursday. Sissoko. Gerrard wins the corner. 50 caps now for England as far as club games go. He was telling me in Macedonia, these are the best, these are the biggest, the derby days for the local lads. And they work hard to get the foreign element into their mindset as well. Liverpool's corner, defended by Cahill. Aurelio back to Gerrard again. Cahill in the right place in his own box. Everton for a second time. Arteta. Anything forward gets the crowd going, because they've seen enough of Andrew Johnson already to know that he can hunt down even a pass that doesn't favour him.
Well, he makes very poor balls into very good balls because of his pace and the way that he's prepared to run.
Luis Garcia cropping up and Everton out from Gerrard's header. There's another corner. Further side from across Stanley Park. Twin Towers for Liverpool. Crouch coming in and doesn't get much on it. He doesn't need much on it these days to hit the back of the opposition's net.
He's got caught a little bit on his heels here, Jolyon Lescott. You can see the run here from Peter Crouch, just gets across the centre-back. I think that Lescott thought he probably had a little bit more time to clear it than he actually did. Some good movement in there. You can see there that Herpier is having his shirt pulled by Joseph Yobo. Interesting at the moment, isn't it? Especially when you've seen the penalty that was given for Chelsea at Blackburn the other week.
The one that wasn't given to Peter Crouch in Macedonia. Herpier. Luis Garcia, who's a tricky customer. Versatility serves Liverpool well. Trying to get to the heart of the matter. Aurelio. Foul is dummy. Luis Garcia goes for goal. And hasn't dealt with it. Maybe at the third or fourth attempt.
Yeah, He had enough attempts at it, didn't he, Tim Howard? Clever little play, wasn't it, by Robbie Fowler, showing us all his experience and nous, knowing exactly where Luis Garcia was. Good shooting position in the end. Tim Howard just grateful to get it at, what, the third, fourth time? Just beginning to settle down, isn't it, this football match after what was an electrifying opening burst by both sides.
Got to that, then Gerrard. Good work by Yobo. So it's doing his shirt pulling that time. Stretched. It's one way out of his difficulties, but it could present a slight problem to Reina.
Interesting, the one player in the Liverpool back four I thought Everton might try and get at is Aurelio. But instead they're getting some joy in the area where Finnan and Carragher is, especially with the running of Andy Johnson and Tim Cahill.
I might just feel that Carragher's not 100%. He's obviously tempted to declare himself fit for the derby.
Well, it takes a little while just to get your bearings, especially in a game like this, because you know you're going to be put under pressure very quickly. But, Johnson's very nearly had a couple of occasions where he's just got in behind him with his undoubted pace and the areas that will just be concerning Jamie Carragher at the moment.
Hopia just wants to try and get it down and let Liverpool go from him, but no time today. Pressing Hopia. And he's just had that iffy kick and Johnson knows.
Difficult one to work out, that, isn't it? Because you've got one player that's really barging into the defender, the other player is trying to win the ball across the top of the striker.
Nicely played by Alonso. He's just looking like a golfer wondering how near the tee it was going, how near the pin it was going to drop. It just ran away from Aurelio.
Well, approach is well, he's got to try and develop this element of his game, really, isn't it? That physical side. And if you look at the frame, it's a frame that's it's very tall, but probably needs filling out a little bit. And probably one of the criticisms might just be that the physical side sometimes he has a real problem with.
Gerrard chase that to Luis Garcia, who does with gusto. Very good cross. Oh, Gary Naismith had plenty to aim at away from the goal to concede the corner.
One or two Everton players and fans have their hearts in their mouth here as you try to head this ball, Gary Naismith. I mean, he has no alternative to put the ball out of play, but maybe he could have made it a little bit more easier. And everybody concerned from an Everton persuasion.
Nevertheless, it is a Liverpool corner. So Neville who deals with it. Not exactly forced back, but the ball back with their keeper. Luis Garcia finding some space again. Gerrard's cross. Corner count is rising for Liverpool.
They're just getting their bearings, aren't they? Boys in red really are beginning to turn up the heat on Everton now.
Finnan not picked up. It's still not closed down. Sissoko. Wanted by Xabi Alonso. The Evertonians a bit edgy at the moment. Maybe they've got a breakaway to enjoy here. Off goes Johnson. Across comes Carragher.
Just a bit more comfortable, isn't it, for Liverpool? They're finding their passing. Alonso is beginning to see more of the ball, which I always think he's a vital player for Liverpool in an attacking sense. He's the playmaker. We've seen Steven Gerrard more and more on the ball also. So, you know, if you look at those two creative players, those two attack-minded players, then clearly Liverpool are going to be better going forward with them being more involved. To roughhouse that from Carsley.
Up, not brandish, but up. And Graham Poll just deciding to make the point, as he's quite entitled to do.
To be fair to Lee Carsley, he just went over and apologised to Momo Sissoko. Knew that his arm was a bit too high.
Naismith has been part of Scotland's heroics in the last week or so, along with David Weir, who reached 50 caps for his country, but is only a substitute for the club that he actually captains these days. Cahill. What he could do really was knock it into space and get Everton up. Maybe get their shape a little stronger, because Liverpool have had a good 10 minutes or so.
They have, Martin, and it's pushed Everton back, and the problem that is given the home side is that Tim Cahill, who's trying to forage and help his midfield, is really leaving Andy Johnson isolated now up top on his own.
Osman.
Arteta.
Naismith made a run ahead of Arteta. It's been found, but also found by the flag. Kevin Kilban, no longer an Everton player, of course, joined Wigan in the last few hours of the transfer window, and Alan Stubbs receiving the benefit of his wisdom. Alan Stubbs back at Everton, but out injured at the moment with a hamstring problem.
Two players that have given very good service to this football club, but you can see what David Moyes is trying to do. He brought a real freshness in youth, and if you look at the likes of Lescott and Andy Johnson, two players at the right age to have a big future at this club.
Well, with Crouch and Hurpier to deal with, Everton need to continue to mark vigilantly and fairly. Liverpool choose to go short from the free kick and not use the height that they have in the middle, and Aurelio can hit them much better than that.
Yeah, I'd say he's a lot better than that, isn't he? I mean, he's obviously going to get on set pieces, Aurelio, because he's a fabulous left foot. We didn't see it there. And Steven Gerrard just having another word with Graham Poll. He felt moments earlier when Gary Naismith went for a header against him that he just went over the top of the Liverpool captain, and Stephen felt he should have had a free kick. It wasn't given.
There's a bit of previous between those two, which involved Gerrard getting red carded at Anfield. Two tackles with Naismith. Carsley. And put in by Cahill. It's a goal for Everton against the run of play, just past the halfway mark in the first half.
Well, I have to say, Martin, it was beautifully worked. You know, the last 10 minutes really Everton have gone long ball, and Andy Johnson has really struggled up against Carragher and Hurpier, but the way they played their way through there, Everton, was an absolute delight. Starts with Johnson, clever little ball, good run forward from Carsley, and then it's about the power of Leon Osman. You wouldn't expect him really to outmuscle the Liverpool defenders, and then it sits up invitingly for Tim Cahill. There's one or two arms in the air. They thought that maybe Cahill might have been offside, but it was very well worked, and Reina has no chance really with a strike from Cahill.
David Moyes banked on Tim Cahill to support Andrew Johnson. Cahill has come up with the crucial opening goal. Liverpool have been behind a few times already this season and sorted out their problems. So this is the derby. And here's Naismith. Osman towards the Scot again. I guess it was that claim as to whether there was a foul by Osman.
I'm not convinced. No, I'm not
convinced. It didn't look offside, did it?
No, I'm not convinced it was a foul. I thought Leon Osman does brilliantly, really. Just sticks his body into... Might have been Steve Finnan. He does superbly well, and actually there's a lot of Liverpool defenders got caught on this near side of the field. You can see there who Carragher fitting all across the other side of that near post.
Finnan certainly felt that he was fouled, but I guess you would if you'd lost that battle in those circumstances, and Cahill was just waiting to put it into the net. The goal stands, Everton 1, Liverpool 0. 175th league Merseyside derby. At the moment, it's the buoyant Blues. At the moment.
They needed that goal, didn't they? Because I thought Liverpool, the last 10 minutes, had really begun to exert a bit of pressure. You know, the likes of Alonso we've seen on the ball at the moment was beginning to become influential, and that's always important for Liverpool.
And Timmy Cahill, who scored in each of his previous seasons as an Everton player against Liverpool, both those goals at Anfield, incidentally. Here's Gerrard. He's got one at Goodison here. Never. Sissoko got the ball.
Great challenge. Great challenge. It's interesting. People, I think Alex Ferguson's gone into print this week as saying what an important signing Andy Johnson was for Everton, and maybe what a bargain. What about Tim Cahill? What a great signing he's proved to be for Everton. You know, a lot of clubs looked at him, they weren't quite sure, and David Moyes decided to bring him here to Goodison. What a good decision that was.
Johnson. Cahill can play on. He's waiting for Osman. He's the furthest forward in the blue shirt. Decided to look for the support that was coming from deeper positions. Finnan. Sissoko wins it against Carsley. Gerrard sprinting outside Luis Garcia. Fowler just pulling away from Hibbert. Didn't quite get there.
A bit frustrating, isn't it, for Liverpool, the fact they've conceded a goal and one or two passes are going astray. But there's a lot of experience and there's a lot of quality in Rafa Benitez's side, so you would expect at some stage they will just regain that dominance.
Brian, let me just point out that Liverpool's sixth game of the season, they have conceded in every one of those, only one in every one, but they haven't had a clean sheet now in 11 when you go back to last season. They've been talking about upping the attacking options. Just maybe it's coming at a slight cost defensively. Yeah,
I mean, one of the strengths, hasn't it, of Liverpool over the last 2 or 3 years has been how strong their back four is and the fact that they don't concede too many goals. But don't forget, you know, you've got an inexperienced left-back in Aurelio. The fact that Carragher has been out, he's now back in the side. So there's been a little bit of changing going on in that Liverpool back four, which clearly is not to their benefit.
Arteta. Hibbert. Not easy for Reina. Challenge. The huge frame of Leon Osman, who's certainly making himself known in that penalty area.
Well, my first reaction is, you know, Leon Osman has just gone genuinely for that ball, and I think that's a very fortunate decision.
What weight he has, Osman, he's throwing into this fixture, as you would expect from someone who has been taught his trade by Everton Football Club and has had to live a various rivalry day in, day out for many years now. From optimistic distance.
Both sides just switching around their wide players for Everton. Osman has gone on the left-hand side, Arteta on the right. Gerrard has now swapped with Garcia, which gives him this particular shooting opportunity, but really Steven Gerrard is struggling to get a foothold in this game, which is unusual because he doesn't normally have a big say in what happens in these derby fixtures.
Arteta. Not conceding the goal that Goodison Park can do to Liverpool's self-belief. Hibbert taking his time over the throw quite sensibly, just letting everything he hoped settle down, but they've given the ball away. It's Fowler making good ground. On from Sissoko, here comes Finnan. Luis Garcia wants it and gets it. And goes for goal, pushed out by Howard, and would have been an incredible reaction by Gerrard to get that back in. Maybe it's easy to say, Brian, if he'd gone with his left foot, but he almost achieved the very difficult with his right.
Well, he just has to react so quickly. I mean, it's a good save, this, you know, from Tim Howard. And he probably thought, well, that's just going to go out for a corner. And then he sees Steven Gerrard stick out a right leg and thinks, oh, no, that's 1-1. But it was a very, very difficult angle to convert that chance. And I think it's a mightily relieved Tim Howard there. It was initially an excellent stop from Garcia's strike.
Arteta, Johnson ahead of it. Hibbert pressing on. There's a double ricochet there, and I say so of the assistant, Peter Kirkup. It's a goal kick.
It is very well, Tony Hibbert, really, considering that he has been out a while. And he's shown a good ability and a good awareness to try and get forward and join this, on this occasion, Arteta on this right-hand side.
Which gets the better of Yoba, well anticipated by Fowler. He's looking for Gerrard.
A better ball, Steven Gerrard would have been on his way again towards goal. Well, David Moyes is screaming his back four not to drop too deep, because if they do drop deep, it means the midfield four have got to get closer to them as well, and it just makes it easier for Liverpool just to build up attacks.
Carragher. Nice interplay between Gerrard and Alonso. Everton are well grouped up. Gerrard into Crouch. Sissoko for Gerrard. That is his sort of range.
He's getting closer, isn't it? I talked for the opening quarter of this game, he was really struggling to see the ball at all, but all of a sudden now there's a couple of chances that have fallen to him in the last 5 minutes, and he could quite easily have got himself on the score sheet. See there, that ball was always curling away from goal. Clever little play, wasn't it, from Sissoko on the edge of the box. It gave Gerrard that shooting opportunity.
Crouch. Gerrard was quicker to it than Yobo.
He's going to claim, Joseph Yobo, that the ball was there to be won. But Steven Gerrard was very bright, very quick. And I can understand the yellow card there. As much as Yobo can plead his innocence, he was very well there. Gerrard just bursting on the scene, and that's very high. It's extremely dangerous. And I think Graham Poll has every right to issue a yellow card.
Which he has done.
This is going to be important. But, Tim Howard gets his wall absolutely spot on. We've seen that Aurelio has got the ability to shoot from this distance, although we haven't seen it so far in this game, but certainly from set pieces, and Alonso is also very good.
Wait for the whistle was the message from the referee. There goes the Brazilian. And Tim Howard knew exactly where his left-hand post was, because he certainly wasn't concerned.
Good judgment. It'll be interesting to see how close this does get, because Tim Howard just ambles across, really, doesn't he? But I think he probably would have had it covered.
Howard on a season-long loan from Manchester United. Experience of derby games in Manchester. Nicely going on between Cahill and Alonso. The game going on with Johnson. And still Johnson, 2-0 for Everton. 10 minutes
say, Martin, Liverpool are all over the place at the back. Players that you wouldn't normally think would make huge errors are doing so right now. But I have to say, there's one fella, Andy Johnson, in situations like this that you don't want to give that opportunity to. But just have a look here at the two experienced centre-backs, Hyypiä and Carragher. I mean, they should have dealt with that. One of them, at least, ought to have dealt with that. Hyypiä there decides to try and block off Andy Johnson, allow Carragher to come across. But what a cool and composed finish this is from a natural-born goal scorer, and that's exactly what Andy Johnson is.
Fowler, and that, for the moment at least, goes down as the 100th goal of his club career, and it's a terrific occasion on which to reach that landmark, and he has made a super start since his move to Goodison Park from Crystal Palace.
Well, his goals are one thing, and you know, every striker will tell you that's what you get judged on. But it's his all-round game, it's his work rate, it's his tenacity. But the one thing I like about him in situations like that, he doesn't panic. You know, he side-footed that in. It could have been quite easy to go and try and drill that ball, and he probably would have pulled the neck off it, but instead, he hasn't got an awful lot to aim at.
But how infrequently do you see that from Jamie Carragher? It was a routine mop-up, really, for a player of his ability. He read the situation, read the danger. And Howard reads the danger here. Comes straight away out to make a very safe catch.
Well, Liverpool just haven't defended well from minute one. I mean, Jamie Carragher's worked hard in training to get back fit for this game, because we all know what it means to him personally, because he's been born on these parts. But him and Sammy Hyypiä, who normally have a terrific understanding, been all over the place.
Rayner must have been close to handling that outside his area. Aurelia. Liverpool in the toils. They seem to be in control. And then Cahill. And then Johnson. Suddenly, Everton ecstasy at Goodison Park as a free kick against them here.
You know, going back to David Moyes' formation, people felt that they might just go with two up top, let Beattie join Andy Johnson. But what a great option it is from David now to have the ability just to play with one up top and just flood the midfield, and know that a lot of sides will struggle to break them down, but also knowing, more importantly, when you get forward, you've got somebody who can finish chances.
It's the 34 goals they got in the Premiership last season, Brian, the lowest ever league total for Everton. Remember, they were founder members of the Football League back in the 1888.
It was only the bottom three clubs, wasn't it, that were worse off in terms of scoring goals.
And two here, inside the first half. A triumph for David Moyes and his team, but the job is not yet done. No one will be counting that spot on top of the Premiership at the moment. And Liverpool are rattled.
That's one thing Liverpool can't afford to do. The players are just getting goaded into situations that there might just be an element of an opportunity to give the referee that red card moment. Peter Crouch and Sissoko, their legs are very high, but you'd expect that from both of those players.
Arteta. We've got that one at Johnson's expense. In fact, Johnson's dropped to his knees.
He's got a bang there, man. He's got a bang. Just getting his bearings again, but Jamie Carragher really came through him that time. Clearly, Carragher a little bit frustrated probably with the way that both him and the rest of the back four have defended.
Certainly some blood on the shaven scalp of Andrew Johnson.
To be fair to him, he's just gone over to Jamie Carragher, make sure he's okay. Also, two tough and uncompromising characters, but probably Andy Johnson's going to have to get that wound probably looked at.
Crouch, Fowler peeling off. Time to time there's been some very good movement from Liverpool. Nothing to show for it. Gerrard. Got a piece of it. Goes in again with Crouch. Out comes the goalkeeper as well.
Well, that was nice and decisive, wasn't it, from Tim Howard? You could see there that Julian Lescott was having a real problem with the height of Peter Crouch. And he would just come and take charge of the situation. It's exactly what you want from your goalkeeper. Well, Lescott not too much experience, of course, at this level.
Still feel, given the psychology of matters here on Merseyside, that Everton need to keep this 2-0 lead intact to half-time. It's being threatened here by a Liverpool free kick. And Alonso knew that there might have been a break on for Johnson there, but the stoppage at least will mean that wound will be looked at.
Well, this was the foul on the near the halfway line, just leading up to the goal that Andy Johnson eventually scored. Now,
they kept on wrestling.
Yeah, they did. But to be fair to the referee, you know, I mean, it's a difficult one to give anyway at the best of times, isn't it? Because you don't know which way to allow it to go. But you know, Andy Johnson wasn't bothered, and neither was David Moyes. They've enjoyed the moment.
Arteta.
Johnson, who's had a mixed time in his career against Liverpool, of course, the tears of the Millennium Stadium when he was Birmingham's penalty taker and failed in the shootout at the League Cup final. He did get a winner against the Merseyside Reds for Crystal Palace, and Palace were in the Premiership in that wonderful season that he had in South London.
People forget how old he is as well. I mean, he's only in his mid-20s. He's still got an awful lot of good times ahead of him, Andrew Johnson. He made his debut very early, didn't he, at Birmingham City?
Just over a couple of minutes plus added time to half-time. So, mouth-watering wait for this game to come around, and I suppose it's disappointed if you're a Liverpool supporter, but not in any other respect.
I think as a club manager, you're always dreading what sort of shape your players are going to come back after international duty, and I think Rafa Benitez will be bitterly disappointed with probably the shape of some of his players. I mean, there's one or two out there that have had long journeys during the past 10 days or so, and it seems to be showing and taking its toll on his side, because they really haven't been at their sharpest.
Well, let's have a look at that. Carragher's been getting fit. Aurelio has been away watching Brazil, but not playing for them. He's supporting them in the matches in London.
Finnan had been in Germany, was it?
Finnan played at the weekend. That's a week ago. They didn't have a midweek game in the Republic of Ireland.
Alonso.
Sissoko hasn't been away. Alonso has. Reina has with Spain.
Garcia.
Fowler hasn't been away. He's been getting fit. Garcia with Spain as well. Crouch, of course, with England. Gerrard with England.
It was a point I was talking to David Moyes about before the game, and he was saying, you know, you always worry because what sort of level of training have they been doing, what have they been eating, what have they been drinking, how have they been resting. You know, sort of, they can get very bored when you're away, stuck in hotels. And then you get them back on the Thursday. You know, you do a very light session with them on the Friday, and you just hope that they're ready for a match like this on the Saturday. Well, maybe some of these Liverpool players have struggled with that.
Everton don't need to rush this. Neville will be well aware of the time. There's a digital display at the other end of the ground. Arteta again just prepared to run down the clock, but there's an opportunity to maybe unhinge Liverpool one more time. Neville, this one coming in back post, reached it. Naismith was played into trouble there, but he reacted quickly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there'll be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time. 2 minutes.
So important.
2-0.
So important
Moyes.
to David's side now that they don't do anything silly in this remaining 2 minutes. They've got themselves into such a great position in this football match. They need to make sure that he's at his best at half-time, knowing that his players have got to keep the same sort of attitude in the second period. And this will be a big, big result for this football club if they can see it through.
Cahill. Finnan.
He did well initially, didn't he, Tim Cahill, just to work and try and get something from this situation. I think he's every right to go for that, you know. I mean, it's just ambling towards the byline, and Steve Finnan's hoping it's going to go out much quicker. He would have expected Tim Cahill to give him some sort of challenge there.
Just a thought on what you've been saying, Brian, about Liverpool's tired travellers. Rafa Benitez has picked a team which he thinks is maybe taking into account that factor, and he's changed things around. There's no option like that for David Moyes.
No.
Whether they've been away or not, these are the lads who've got to play, and the teamwork, they've really got down to business. And certainly since they've taken the lead, has come from maybe the more coordinated of the two sets of 11. Sometimes you can have too many choices, that's all.
Yeah, and sometimes you can have too many excuses, and I'm not trying to offer it up as an excuse. I'm trying to offer it up as a potential reason why Liverpool haven't been at their best.
And it's not over yet, as Liverpool fans would want me to point out. But it is half-time, and it has been splendid for the Evertonians. Tim Cahill and then Andrew Johnson have taken chances on this most important stage. And not just beating Liverpool is on offer here, going to the top of the table as well. So far so good if you're in blue. Damage to be repaired if you're in red. Matt Goodison, it's 2-0 Everton at half-time. Everton looking to make it 10 points from their opening 4 league matches. A feat they have never managed before. When they last achieved 3 wins and a draw to start a season back in 1978, the rewards were only 7 points because it was the old system of 2 for a win.
It's interesting that Rafa Benitez didn't make changes at half-time, but yet you see a lot of activity going on around their dugout, and it looks as if those changes are going to be made almost straight away.
Getting their match shirts ready, which these days players don't always wear while they're watching as a substitute. Strangely. Sissoko. Certainly more vigorous warming up from Nana Risa, Jermaine Pennant and Kaut. Starting 11, they're still out there, trying to make some inroads into this 2-0 Everton lead. Sissoko. So actually was momentarily impeded by Cahill. The referee just waited to see whether it was going to be any advantage for Liverpool. He's pulled it back for a free kick.
You get the feeling this first 15 minutes of the second half, Martin, is vitally important to both sets of players. You know, if Everton can hang on and make sure that they don't do anything silly in terms of conceding goals, and if Liverpool, though, can get a goal, they really are going to be in for a very interesting second half.
Mourinho with a free kick. Did well by Cahill. Well, the shot would have counted, because despite Everton's protests, Graham Poll wasn't blowing his whistle.
Maybe Arteta perhaps made a little bit more of it than probably he should have done. You see there that the referee is only, what, 2 yards away from the incident, so he doesn't see an awful lot wrong with that. looks as if Alonso gets the ball first, man second.
Headed on by Carsley, got really buffeted in the back by Sissoko. Arteta. Everton, of course, have had their moments, particularly in the Howard Kendall years as manager of Goodison Park. League titles, cups, European trophy with Andy Gray in the team. By and large on Merseyside, Liverpool have reigned supreme for the lifetime of most of the fans in the ground.
Sissoko's getting involved in one or two incidents which he's very young, very competitive, but he needs to maintain his concentration because there's still some time left for his side to get back into this football match, and the last thing that Liverpool need right now is for him to get an early bath.
It's his 50th game for the club. The aftermath of the Sissoko skirmish is a free kick to Everton. And a chance to score a third goal against Liverpool, something they haven't managed in the Premiership years, home or away. It was Gerrard who got it out as far as Osman, who was just trying to lift it back in from level. An area where Yobo could chase, and Reina has to come out and feet first in the end against the Everton man.
It's an uncomfortable one, wasn't it, for Pepe Reina to deal with in the end. This ball was always going away from Joseph Yobo. You can see one or two Liverpool players appealing for offside, but Yobo was clearly on.
Yobo was wrong side of Crouch for a moment. He's got the speed of recovery.
Well, he might be a little bit short in technical ability, Joseph Yobo, but what he has got is a lot of power and a lot of pace, and it's very, very difficult to shake off, and Peter Crouch has just experienced that.
Murillo's throw. It's bounced a long way. Fowler couldn't get any pace into the effort at goal.
I'd imagine David Moyes would be furious to see this ball bouncing around the penalty area in the fashion that it did there. No one really taking charge of the situation, the blue shirt. Half a chance for Robbie Fowler, no more than that.
Neville. Trying to see it out against Osman, but giving it up easily. Gerrard. Luis Garcia. Murillo. No chance of finding Fowler or Crouch. Osman. Cahill wanted it. Sissoko was all over him.
Actually thought that was a very good challenge from Sissoko. He knew and had that belief that he could win that ball against Tim Cahill. That's exactly what he did. Very competitive player, Sissoko.
Liverpool trying to get back to some of the passing that they showed in the earlier minutes of the game.
They just had a problem really being a threat in the attacking third, Martin. I mean, some of their approach players being decent defensively, midfield third, but it's when they get up top that they're really struggling to put anything together.
Oh, great work by Johnson to make himself available for Arteta's pass. Cahill. So the whistle has gone.
Reina very nearly had a big lapse of concentration. I'm not sure whether he realised the referee had blown for a free kick for his team.
Hibbert inside of Yobo. Gerrard. Mason had had a look round just in case he needed to protect himself, I think, but Gerrard didn't react.
Liverpool substitution.
And here comes the first change for Rafa Benitez. Just 7 minutes into the second half.
18,
Peter Crouch, it will be said of him that he's felt the effects adversely of his work for England over the past few days. But Dirk Kuyt has been around Europe representing his country, Holland. He's on for his second Liverpool appearance, the £10 million striker from Feyenoord.
Well, he was lively when he came on against West Ham. He's going to need very much the same again, isn't he? To have an impact and change the course of this game. Well, we're hoping they can bring a little bit of power and pace to this front line, but maybe showing a little bit too much power there with his challenge against Lescott. Desperate to make a big impact, isn't he?
Sissoko. Now Carragher. Now it's their first ahead of Fowler.
Well, again, that's a couple of occasions Tim Howard has had to come and take charge of the situation. He's done it very well. I think this is a great opportunity for Tim Howard. I mean, he did well when he first came into the Manchester United side. Then he had one or two very indifferent moments. Lost his concentration and confidence, but this is a big opportunity for him to get that confidence back.
Phil Neville. Remember, the first half started like this, and then pretty soon settled down, in truth. Peter Reid would tell you back in our studio that most of the Merseyside derbies he played in were like this for 90 minutes.
I was going to say, he'll say they've gone soft. Well, it was Kuyt initially that got tangled up with Phil Neville, and then Xabi Alonso has a little bit of a dart in here as well. So I think both of them between them get involved, and the referee, though, he's on the spot, sorts things out. But thankfully, not too many players get too much wrapped up in it.
4 red cards in the 2 ownership meetings between these two clubs last season. Two of them shown by Graham Poller, who's in charge of the game here. Sent off Arteta and Neville. Aurelio. For some support, but Yobo got there quickly. Dutchman again. Finnan's ball. Robbie Fowler just trying to get in behind, but calling Fowler the flag.
I think it's a good shout from Tony Hibbert here. This is the player that's calling it the right back. You see there that Robbie Fowler is just going now, but that's a very tight decision, if anything. I think he's very unfortunate, Robbie Fowler, although Yobo deals with it. He looked level. I think Everton are just quite content, seemingly, to allow Liverpool to have possession at certain areas of the field, and then when the time's right to go and close and work hard to get it back.
Well, it's what the managers talk about, Brian, about now putting the winning mentality into place. They've got the goals. It's to do their jobs now in the second half. Everton, they've lost track of their count here. Alonso. Well, they got away with it, Everton.
Well, what they were trying to do was play Robbie Fowler offside, and he probably was when that ball went forward, Martin. You can see there he goes early, and that's where you feel a little bit for the defensive side there, but Kuyt probably wasn't offside, but you certainly expect Xabi Alonso to do better in situations like this. He's got good technical ability. You really would expect him to work the goalkeeper.
Manchester United defending their 100% start to the season against Spurs at 5 o'clock on this channel. Urgent signal from Graham Poll to get some treatment for Fabio Aurelio.
Aurelio, I think, got caught with Tim Cahill, but he also takes one on the face from the clearance. So he's had the double bubble there, hasn't he?
Not down for long. And he knows that Reece is waiting.
Well, it's a test of Rafa Benitez's management now. You know, they're 2-0 down. It's a big game in many respects. You know, the fact that they've drawn 1-1-1, he knows there's a lot of important games coming up. He's changed his side around. Hasn't really had the sort of the impact he was looking for.
Here's Luis Garcia. Lescott did well against Cahill. Johnson. Arteta. Knocked it away from Alonso despite his shirt being tugged. Reina had to scoop that up accurately on the bounce because Johnson was there. If there'd been any sort of fumble, Andrew Johnson was right on Reina's case.
Well, Lee Carsley had made a terrific run into the box. A couple of occasions where Reina has really gone long, and a couple of balls where Lescott and Yobo are quite content to just let the ball drift over their heads, hoping and expecting Tim Howard. He's got a good starting position behind them.
Naismith, Neville, Osman. Everton putting some passes together. It's not been easy for them in the second half, but they haven't been over-ambitious. I say they've been trying to cut out the errors and make sure that they defend properly. This terrific half-time return of going in 2 goals up.
But Martin, they need to pass the ball, Everton, because they haven't really got a big striker that they can just throw balls forward to. Whereas I think Liverpool sometimes get caught up in that, either with Crouch or now Coit. They have that option, but you need to use it very wisely.
Carragher. Naismith. Forward by Lescott, back by Carragher. He was going to get the free kick.
Well, I'm not sure what Graham Poll saw there, because for me that looked as if Alonso was really leaning into Leon Osman, and if anything, I think most people in this stadium, Liverpool fans included, would have expected Everton to get the free kick.
Gerrard. Sissoko. Fowler might have turned that Sissoko shot into a goal, and it was an important piece of defending by Joleon Lescott.
It was interesting that they came from a free kick that Liverpool got rather than Everton, but it was good defending because Robbie Fowler was ready to pounce on that.
Liverpool have been unbeaten since March the 12th, almost 6 months. Cahill comes back out to Aurelio. Kuyt. This is Finnan!
Good strike from Steve Finnan. One touch, sits up nicely for him. They work very hard here, Liverpool, just to keep this ball in and around the Everton box. You see there's a lot of blue shirts, and it's very, very difficult to thread a ball through there, and probably for Tim Howard to get a decent sight on it, but that it goes narrowly wide.
Like Carragher was injured at Sheffield United 3 weeks ago. Nicely taken down by Carsley. Couldn't quite sort his feet out, Leon Osman, that time.
Carsley really fizzed the ball on him, didn't he? He didn't make it easy.
Actually, that was a whistle that Everton would have appreciated, because the ball ran on to Cahill. Finnan. Alonso, Gerrard. Plenty forward in this Liverpool attack. But they held their line, Everton, and the offside has been given.
Well, that's a mixture of good defending, but probably poor play on behalf of Garcia if he is caught offside, because that was a clever little through ball. And that's tight, isn't it? But he is off. And you can see right across the line, the Spaniard, and it really is negligent on his part to get caught offside. But another change.
Well, Robbie Fowler's return to Merseyside Derby Day action hasn't produced the goal that he would have loved. It might have given the story a different twist to this point. Risa replaces him.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what formation now Liverpool adopt. Point is going to go down the middle, as you would expect, but looks as if Garcia and Gerrard are just going to probably play just behind him. Risa has gone into left back, Aurelia just ahead of him. So Benitez trying everything he can tactically just to shake up his side and get a response, and more importantly, get a goal and get back into this game.
Arteta. Gerrard. Here comes Risa at the run.
Been very solid defensively, haven't they, Everton? One thing I do like and admire about what David Moyes has done here is he really has forged a great spirit, a great unity. You know, they haven't got a massive squad, but they've got a real togetherness.
Alan Irvin is his assistant. Still debating the shape of things at the moment. Maybe the long throw could cause some problems, as it did earlier in the half. Here's Gerrard, beautifully found by Alonso, and from a position that he scored from against Andorra for England, he couldn't find the back of the Everton net.
Well, you expect him to score. I mean, the angle is always going to be against him. Brilliant ball from Alonso, just chips this in behind Naismith, and then Steven Gerrard, great first touch. That is agonisingly just wide, and as you have rightly identified, very similar to the one that he smashed towards the top corner against Andorra.
Look at those figures.
Yeah, well, the important stats is the scoreline. It's a poor return, isn't it, on target for Liverpool when you think of the amount of strikes they've had.
Gerrard. It's Howard's ball. Everton on a good run of their own, not just this season, but they finished last season much more successfully than they started it. They too haven't been beaten since the springtime. Liverpool's run 17 games unbeaten is really on the line here. Garcia. Carragher. Push on count by Hibbert when the ball's in the air. But offside has been given.
Well, again, have a decent head of steam now, aren't they, Liverpool? Made some changes, and it has changed them for the better. It'll be worrying David Moyes at the moment. And the fact that they've got that cushion of 2 goals, but what he doesn't want his side is to drop too deep, and that's what he's saying to his back four and his midfield four. You've got to push further up. We've got to really take the game to Liverpool a bit more.
Well, it showed in the first half, after a rather sticky start to the game, what they can do when they do take the game to Liverpool. Free kick given, even though Carsley played the ball.
He's done a good job, hasn't he, Lee Carsley in there. I said right at the very top, Martin, that it will be extremely competitive, and you need players like him for days like this.
Carrigan, Finnan. Restarting the game, although Carsley wasn't really fit to go on, but there's no time to wait for the visiting team. And of course, there's no etiquette now. It's the referee's decision. Everton fans are not happy. When have they ever been happy with Liverpool? Led by Cahill.
The referee's just checking now with Lee Carsley to see if he's all right, but he's still struggling. He's got really winded in the knock. So he had when he challenged Coit.
Sissoko, Finnan. Neville will be very kick against Luis Garcia.
Well, I've said what a good game Lee Carsley's had. Well, put Phil Neville in that bracket as well. And he's been playing at right back. He's now gone and played as a central midfield player today, and he really has given a tremendous performance in there.
Phil Neville offered his hand to Garcia. Garcia refused, then offered his hand, and then Phil Neville refused. Sissoko, given to Johnson. To set his sights, Carsley, Neville. Osman. Johnson stooping, but not quite conquering.
Well, any touch there, and that's 3-0. It's as simple as that. Very clever again how they work the opening. Osman gets far too much time and room, really, to pick out a cross, and how Andy Johnson has missed that after the game he's had. It's quite remarkable. And in the end, they get a corner, but it should have really been a goal and game over.
Half an eye on the goalkeeper, you would suspect. Corner for Everton. By Sissoko. Should be by Finnan now, although he wants it to go for a goal kick. Ticking off for Lescott for chasing it down a bit too abruptly for the referee's liking. "20 minutes left. Count would take. Howard made the save, but was wondering what the follow-up might lead to. Gerrard. Still life in this Merseyside derby for Liverpool. Finnan.
That was a decent strike, wasn't it, from Coit? It's Joseph Yobo really that goes to sleep, because 2 or 3 of the back 4 step up, hoping to play offside. But he certainly isn't in tandem with his central defensive partner, Lescott. That's a good save from Howard. You can see there that Yobo's really trying to make up ground, and Coit gets away a decent strike, but equally matched with a save from Tim Howard. But he has made a difference since he's come on. He's been nice and lively, and he's been positive.
Yes, Dirk Kuyt has come from Holland, where he was truly a footballing hero. They loved his goals, of course, but they loved his attitude as well, both for Holland and for the Dutch national team. A bubbly, buoyant character, and easily put off his stride. Osman. Carsley.
Lee Carsley's just claiming to the referee that Stephen Gerrard just backed into him. He actually made a back for Lee Carsley to try and win that ball. Certainly not flavour of the month, Mr. Paul, at the moment with the Everton fans.
Alonso. Finnan. Luis Garcia to his side for the ball, but it ran back for Stephen. Sissoko isn't really a goal-getter from midfield. Got to find something from somewhere, Liverpool. Maybe Luis Garcia. So he takes the heat out of it, where he thought he was setting himself up to clear, and then Yobo messed it up, his teammate.
Some desperate defending at the moment for Everton. They know they're hanging on. I just think probably Liverpool guilty of being over-elaborate at times. One too many passes in that final third.
Carragher. Everton working all over the pitch, starting with Andy Johnson to defend. And get through the 17 minutes or so that remain with a win. It would be absolutely gigantic for the morale here, which is pretty high anyway after an excellent start to the season. Here's Gerardo. Coming in from either side. Lescott and Carsley. The decision is a corner. Brian.
To his credit, Steven Gerrard didn't claim for a penalty. Martin, he knew that was good defending from Lescott, showing good strength, the central defender.
Referee having a word with Tim Howard, the Everton goalkeeper. Doesn't know where to look because 18 yards away, Sammy Herpier is on the ground. Yobo saying, "Oh, didn't mean to do it."
This will be interesting.
And they knocked each other off again. It comes out to Risa of the mighty left foot. Risa again, blocked by Carsley. Sissoko, Herpier, and Gerrard will get there. Hits the post. Came out to count. He's asking for handball by Hibbert.
Sissoko is going to get booked. He's going to get booked because he claimed too harshly towards the referee that they should have had a penalty. And another big moment as far as Liverpool's chances of getting back into this game, Martin. In fact, two big moments. One was a strike from Gerrard and one was a penalty claim, the handball against Tony Hibbert.
Hung up high, the corner. Lescott clears. Everton try and get out. Reina can switch it across to Risa. No one really pushing that far forward for the home team.
The final quarter of an hour, and they really are on the rack at the moment, Everton.
Sissoko. Gerrard. It's deep, but not deep enough. Steven Gerrard has struck the inside of Tim Howard's left-hand post.
This is the second time he's hit the woodwork, isn't it? Great little ball through, wasn't it? And that time he went to place it. Was that a handball? Certainly Liverpool were strong in their claims.
Cahill. Carsley and finding out first hand and very quickly into his English career what playing in a Merseyside derby is all about.
Yeah, can have another good look at this. That's a good effort, isn't it, from Steven Gerrard, trying to be very deliberate with the side foot. And when Coit just helps this back in towards a danger area, that's a handball, that's a penalty, and that's a poor decision.
Earlier was fouled. He's pushed on ahead of Risa. They're trying to combine here.
Probably disruptions don't really help Liverpool because it just breaks up the flow of the game.
Benitez getting Jermaine Pennant ready to come on. Play comes from Aurelio. Liverpool rack up another corner.
Substitution for Liverpool, number 22, Momo Sissoko, comes off, replacing him, number 16, Jermaine Pennant.
Defensive midfield player. His way to the wide skills of Jermaine Pennant. There's a short corner on. Paul says he hadn't allowed the corner to be taken by Neville. Here's Arteta to lead a rare Everton break. Risa is going to be in trouble here for trying to get there in time, but he of course is a bit rusty, having been on the treatment table for a couple of weeks.
He's in a lot of pain, Martin. That was a clumsy challenge, isn't it? But he has got real problems. You can see there with the way he reacted. They're getting the club doctor on straight away, and he's in a lot of pain. Reset. He's very well here, Arteta. Fabulous header initially from Phil Neville, just defensively there. Arteta just trying to buy his side a little bit of time and taking the ball forward. And just have a look here at John Arne Riise's leg as he goes across there. He seems to really twist it. And he's in pain straight away.
He put his arm up straight away, didn't he? And it's all going wrong for Rafa Benitez. Certainly a foul by Riise. He was concerned about Arteta leading the breakout, and maybe Graham Poll believed that, as players do sometimes, that Riise was going to try and get a sympathy vote, suggesting that he was injured when perhaps he wasn't. But I think the reaction since has shown that Riise has a problem again. No sooner back in the team, he's only been on a matter of minutes after a layoff from the injury at Sheffield United. And you have to say, bringing Carragher back into the team was a calculated gamble that hasn't come off. He made the mistake on the second goal. And with Count, Riise himself and Pennant, as you can see, already on from the bench, there's no further alternatives for Liverpool. 2 goals down and 1 man down, and time against them as well.
He's going to get a yellow card as well to add insult to injury, and I think that Rafa Benitez is having that explained to him by Graham Poll because of the challenge that Riise made to Arteta. And he certainly wouldn't question that decision. Just seems quite harsh that a player is being carried off.
I believe there is even a referee's instruction as to how they are to administer punishments in these circumstances. I guess that fulfills that mandate.
Well, it's going to make Liverpool's job now getting back into this game massively difficult. I mean, they had done very well for the past 10-15 minutes or so and put Everton under increasing pressure, and they're certainly unfortunate not to have got a goal back.
Just to say again, Brian, that what chances Everton have had, they have taken.
Yeah, they have. And I mean, if you look at the attempts that both sides have had and how Everton have profited from their attempts and Liverpool have squandered theirs, then clearly their finishing abilities have been far greater than Liverpool.
Pennant, such a good crosser of the ball. And this good clearance by Yobo. Comes out to Finnan. Cahill and Yobo going for the same ball. And it's looking more and more as though it's not going to be Liverpool's day at Goodison Park.
Well, it's all getting very frustrating, isn't it, for Liverpool? As this ball goes towards Garcia, it's very difficult, really, to squeeze something past defenders and goalkeeper from that angle. Very tight.
Sunday action for you from the Championship. Leeds against Wolves. +1 HD1 from 1. And Super Sunday. The intriguing events of Upton Park includes now a match. West Ham United against Aston Villa, who've made a brilliant start to their season under Martin O'Neill. 3:30. programme begins. Johnson trying to work her way through and really settle any doubts for Everton.
Didn't really see much of the ball in the second half, Andy Johnson, but one thing that has happened, he's just never stopped working, has he? I mean, he really has put in a great shift for his team, but as most of these Everton players have, been a terrific team performance.
And James Beattie is
Everton substitution, ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation
into the fray here.
21, Leon Osman.
Leon Osman, who played a big part in the opening goal that tilted the game away from Liverpool. In terms of early possession, it looked as though they were going to impose themselves on yet another Merseyside derby. But Osman eased the path for the ball for Cahill to strike. And Beattie, for the moment, is going up alongside Johnson.
Well, they're just going to bring Cahill out to this left-hand side, Martin, and just go with two up top.
Carsley to Arteta. Hibbert. Well, it's another chapter in this fascinating history between two clubs, separated by just the width of Stanley Park. Arteta. Cahill's in there. Naismith. Naismith again! And Rayner was scrambling across his line. Had it been under the bar, it might well have been 3-0.
Well, the reason he was scrambling around, Martin, is that he thinks this initial strike from Naismith is going towards that bottom corner. It strikes one of his defenders and then he reacts very quickly. Unfortunately for Everton, Naismith can't keep his second attempt down as well as he did the first.
And for the second time, one in the face for Aurelio.
Doesn't it always happen like that? You know, when everything goes against you, it really does go against you. How many times do you see that happen? A side that really have struggled to get a grip on this game, and Aurelio's been knocked out twice. You've got to bring that down, son. You've got to show better control than that.
But all round, it's one in the eye for Liverpool at Goodison Park. On what is a super Saturday for Everton Football Club. Surely they can't lose it from here, but a mistake by Naismith, and here's Pennant. By Neville. We're hearing that it's a recurrence of the ankle injury that Risa had at Sheffield United. Lescott. A run for Beattie. Another difficult moment for Carragher. Normally the most composed of defenders. And Finnan pressed by Cahill, and here's Johnson. Opie's long leg. Arteta. Cahill back post. That's who it's aimed for. Tim Cahill. There's no one from midfield backing it up, and you can understand why. They've kept the back four and two midfield players holding. Carsley and Neville. Gerrard. Here's Pennant. Towards Cout. There was just tight enough.
He actually did the hard bit, Kite. He gets himself across the defender. It's a well-flighted ball in from Pennant. the connection that he's looking for isn't there. It's a bit of disappointment for Liverpool. I mean, you could argue and say for the majority of the game they've probably had better possession than Everton, but Everton have been more ruthless in the important areas, the areas where it matters most.
Arteta, if he kept it in, it would have been a bit more heartache for Liverpool, but Arteta, some sort of a foot problem.
I might just have cramp, you know. He's done very well down that right-hand side.
Luis Garcia needs some help in the middle. Never gets a foot in. Aurelio, it is a pennant. Another good claim by Tim Howard. And we're into the last 2 minutes, and Everton still have the 2-0 lead. Top of the league, they've finally started to sing. Aurelio put away by Naismith. Alonso, couch, corner.
Good defending from Hibbert. Found himself 1v1 with Coat on the far post, and it was a searching ball from Alonso. They keep knocking on the door, don't they, Liverpool, but it's really running out of time now for them.
Really flung himself at it. He's back on his feet now as he puts it towards him. He's certainly doing enough here in difficult circumstances to suggest that Rafa Benitez has bought wisely.
I like the look of him. The one thing that's impressed me is he's had a real desire to make an impact on the game. He hasn't just come into a game which is always very difficult to pick up the pace, but he's done that very well. I think this is what's called tactical substitution, I think.
Yes, Howard Webb, the fourth official, was patting his watch to tell Arteta he was taking note of the time. Portugal's left back, Nuno Valente, comes on, but he's not going to play at left back. 5 added minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
Beat it.
official has indicated there'll be a minimum of 5 minutes of added time. 5 minutes.
These Everton fans are wondering where those 5 minutes have come from.
And certainly the recent injury.
Yeah.
Substitutions. Liverpool racked up 3 pretty quickly in the second half. Less good. A half in which they needed 3 goals to really make their day. The inside of the post, they could easily have been given a penalty. That's a Hopia.
He's played for it, hasn't he? Tim Cahill's played for it, but you know, Sami Hupia has just stood there, and he's certainly a big player to try and get round. Tim Cahill just knowing there's a little bit of space there.
So caution for Hopia with the free kick. Well defended by Alonso. Neville. A tangle with Cahill. Paul kicked away by Johnson, who would say it was a shot, and possibly it was.
Well, Alonso's just having a word with the referee, and Tim Cahill's just kicked out at Aurelio, you know, when Phil Neville's trying to play that ball in behind, and it's unnecessary. I mean, the game now, 2-0, no need to get involved in anything like that.
Alonso. Bennett. 9 outfield players of Liverpool. Recent off injured after all the substitutes have been used. Still striving. Do for Everton from Cahill.
with Johnson still full of running. Inside.
Good defending. Good defending. And Lescott probably called that. That ball has gone on the diagonal. And, Phil Neville just giving him a round of applause. He's a young player that's, I'm sure, will emerge into a very, very good central defender here for Everton. No nonsense type, isn't he? But
manager was a central defender, of course, and help in that respect, and he'll be very pleased the way they've seen out this second half. Of course, there have been difficulties. Of course, there have been moments where a little bit of fortune's been on their side.
But BT, a chance to really wrap up. I guess a third would be being greedy from Everton's point of view. Naismith, Carsley, it's swerved and Reina has to repossession it. Johnson, goal. They have got the third.
what is Reina doing there? What is he doing? An almighty calamity by the Liverpool goalkeeper. It's a fabulous strike from Lee Carsley from round about 25 yards. Good football leading up to this, I have to say. Clever little ball from Phil Neville just round the corner. Naismith into the path of Carsley, and he thinks, why not? We're 2-0 ahead, and it does fly, but why did he just knock it over the bar? Instead, he just palms it into the path.
Well, he thought he was going to carry it over the line, so he's thrown it up in the air.
But why doesn't he just knock it over the bar there when he has the chance? But, hey, fair play to Andy Johnson. I mean, he doesn't give this up, and that epitomises the performance of not just Andy Johnson, but the rest of this Everton team.
Is to find the last time that Everton got 3 goals against Liverpool in the league. And certainly not in the Premiership. It's been a disaster for Liverpool. And Everton, I think it's fair to say, beyond their wildest dreams.
No. Tell you what, was a brave Liverpool fan sitting amongst those Everton boys, wasn't it?
Here's Aurelio.
Ferguson, no less, said to Andrew Johnson, the buy of the close season. There won't be many disputing that here at Goodison Park today.
Look at his goal scoring record, Martin, over the last few seasons. You know, been absolutely brilliant.
Ecstasy for David Moyes and Everton. Not just a rare win over the neighbouring Reds, but they go top of the Premiership. They've sent Liverpool to their first defeat in 18 games, and what a defeat. Only Everton's second win in 14 derbies. No wonder there are real post-match scenes of jubilation here. And Andy Johnson has been at the heart of it with 2 of the 3 goals after Tim Cahill got them going. It took Everton until November to reach 10 points last season. And here they are, celebrating on September the 9th. And look at that scoreline. Liverpool, there'll be criticisms of Benitez that he picked the wrong side with all his options available. Sandwiched between international fixtures and the Champions League. There's always a temptation to tinker. No such luxuries for Everton. And Philip Neville, Manchester United to the core for so many years, has Everton on his heart now. They may lose top spot later today. But what is for sure, they have the Merseyside bragging rights, at least until February, when they go to Anfield. Everton 3, Liverpool 0.
Well, extraordinary stuff. Everton's best start to a season for 28 years. They won't forget this one in a hurry. He'll want to. Extraordinary. And Andrew Johnson, 100 and now 101 career goals today, is already looking to be the buy of the season in the Premiership. Everton top for now. That could change in an hour or so, but they're going to revel in the situation for as long as they possibly can. There they are, 10 points from 4 games. Manchester.
Andrew, your first ever Merseyside derby. What a memorable one for you and for all Evertonians.
Yeah, it's amazing. The fans are brilliant. The boys have been looking forward to it all week, and it's a great occasion for the boys, a great occasion for the fans, and it was a great 3 points.
Tim, to beat Liverpool is one thing, but to beat them 3-0 is extraordinary.
We've been working hard this whole season, and I mean, you know, this is just for the pride of the city, and the fans deserve it, and so do we. you know, they've got no given right to come on the pitch and just win the game, and we fought hard, and that's what it's all about. We showed our spirit, and we showed character, and that's what we've done today, and I'm really happy for AJ especially, because he knows what it means now to be a Blue.
Yeah, it's a special day. You got things rolling with the first goal, and then AJ steps in with a couple.
Yeah, like, you know, it's great always to get on the score sheet. The lads did well to put me in, but I mean, AJ's an unbelievable striker. He's obviously going to get his goals, and if he keeps doing it week in, week out for us, then we're going to get results.
Andrew, they've been talking about this game all week on Merseyside. Did it live up to billing?
Yeah, it's a massive occasion, do you know what I mean? Like, the fans are brilliant, like the gaffer Nat's been brilliant, like the boys have been brilliant, they worked hard. They got luck amongst them, and we didn't give them time to play, and we got a result.
Things are going so well for you at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, of course, but we've got to keep our feet on the ground, do you know what I mean? We've had like a great start to the season. We've got a tough game next weekend against Wigan, and then we've got the Cahill Cup game, so we're like looking forward to it.
Tim, you'll be dusting out the top of the table, I think, now. Everton on top, first time in 5 years.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like, as AJ said, we can't get ahead of ourselves. It's just a great start to the season after what happened to us last season. So, you know, we're going to keep our feet on the floor and just enjoy this, because, you know, there's not often we get to beat Liverpool in so many years. So we're going to enjoy it, and it's just a good feeling.
There is a real buzz about Everton at the moment. Has the arrival of Andrew Johnson been part of that?
You know, Beats has been waiting for a while, and Fatty for a striker to partner, and AJ's got that skill and speed, and obviously he can finish goals. So, you know, he's definitely the piece of the puzzle that we've been looking for, and now we've all just got to work around AJ and get him 20 goals this season.
Andrew, what's the aim now for Everton this season?
Just obviously to go back to training like Monday, like work hard, and look forward to the on Saturday.
Well done today, boys. Convincing victors, 3-0. And Andrew is the man of the match. Tim, if you'd like to make the celebration, I think there'll be plenty more celebrating tonight.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
We're in Merseyside derbies in recent years. How does this one feel?
Well, it feels as good as I'm sure every other victory any other Everton managers had in a Merseyside derby. We've not won many in the past. You know, Liverpool have got a terrific team, some fabulous players, but you know, I have to give great credit to our players and how they played today.
What have you just said to them in the dressing room?
I've just said to them, you know, that's what I've been seeing you doing through the pre-season. You know, you're competing against one of the best teams in the league. You know, we want to make that happen. You know, we only get 3 points for today's victory, no more than that. So we just want more of that.
But 3-0 is an extraordinary scoreline.
Well, yeah, we've had some bad games against Liverpool here in the past. They beat us 3-1 here around about Christmas time last year, and we were poor. So, but hopefully we're making improvements and we're going in the right direction.
Andrew Johnson, he looks a snip at the amount of money you paid for him.
Well, we always said he would score goals, but you know, for me, his second goal, you know, to follow up to say I'm going to have a gamble and get in here and score it was terrific, because if he doesn't go, he doesn't get the third goal, and you know how hard he worked, and that's why, you know, we're pleased to have him.
Talking of gambles, was it a bit of a gamble by you to just go with one up front, bearing in mind you're at home in front of your own supporters?
I didn't think it ever looked at one at home, one up front. I thought we always looked as if we had more than one. You know, we wanted our wide boys to get forward as well. So you pick the styles. You know, other teams play different ways. So we chose to go this way today. We might not do it all the time, but you know, it certainly wasn't a gamble if you'd watched us play last week.
Everton top of the league.
Well, that sounds great, and you know, I've been longing to hear that since I came here. I just hope I can maintain it.
Do you reassess your goals now after beating one of the possible winners of the Premiership this year?
Well, I think with you know, what the money was going to be at stake next year in the Premier League, I think everybody wants to make sure they're in it. So we've got 10 points now, very early in the season. We're now aiming to, I think everybody says it's 40, and then you change. Once we get 40, then we'll start looking at the next target. But Premier League survival for a lot of clubs this year is going to be really important.
Certain the players and the fans will be celebrating. Will David Moyes, the manager, be off celebrating tonight?
I hope so, yes, and I think, you know, at the right time, you know, you do so. But we've had a lot of disappointments at different times, but tonight's a good day, and I just hope, you know, we enjoy it. But then it's back to work again on Monday.
It's a special day. Well done. Enjoy it.
Thanks very much, Ta.